Hi, I'm Joe Heggie, Clinical Specialist with Hamilton Medical, and this is the T1 ventilator. I'm going to go over operation with you today. This is the startup screen. To begin ventilation, there's the Start Ventilation button there, and we have a Modes tab at the top of the screen. The modes you have available are Assist Control. Our abbreviation for Assist Control is SCMV. SIMV is right next to that. And if we drop down a level, we have Pressure Control, so PCV+, PSIMV, Spontaneous, APRV, and then we have several non-invasive modes at the bottom of the screen. To make a vent or a mode change, we're in SCMV right now. If we select PCV, confirm, and then it opens the Control tab, you have all the controls for the current mode. Rate, pressure control, i.e. ratio, PEEP, and FiO2. To make a change, we simply touch, turn the dial, and retouch the screen, and the change has been confirmed. Once we've entered our settings, we can confirm the setting change and select Start Ventilation. I'm going to quickly go ahead and adjust my alarm parameters. Underneath the Control tab is Alarms. There's a small white number across the middle of the screen, and we can adjust our alarm parameters around that white number. So I'm going to fix the low minute volume alarm right now. Turn the oxygen off. Okay. So now that we're up and running, you can see our alarm panel is in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. It's accompanied by a red lamp on top of the ventilator. Once the alarms fix themselves, or you fix the alarm condition, that alarm will disappear off the screen. It will not reappear until there's another alarm, but you will be left with the red eye on the screen to indicate that there was an alarm faulted. If you touch the red eye, it will drop down all the alarms associated. Reset button for that red eye is in the bottom left-hand corner there. I'm going to go through one more mode change. So we are in PCV+, so we're in pressure control ventilation currently. If I want to go back to Assist Control, Volume Assist Control, SCMV, confirm, dial in your tidal volume, rate, PEEP and FiO2, confirm again, and now we're in the new mode. The mode that we're currently in is listed in the upper corner here, and the three primary settings of tidal volume, PEEP, and oxygen level are down the right-hand side of the screen. Once again, all controls for the mode are under the Control tab, followed by the alarms. Underneath the alarms, we have the battery life. So this ventilator has up to 9 hours worth of battery life. 2 batteries, so you'll see battery 2 and battery 1. It will draw off battery 2 first and then switch over to battery 1. There is an Events tab if you do need to look back at any setting changes or alarm faults that have occurred. There will be alarm faults will be highlighted in red and yellow colors, and setting changes will just be in common print. Monitoring tab, so if you need additional information, monitored information, patient values, they'll be under the Monitoring tab, and there's 3 tabs of clinical information there. Otherwise, you have 4 primaries down the left-hand side of peak pressure, expired minute volume, expired tidal volume, and total respiratory rate. Over on the right-hand side of the ventilator here, we have a 2-minute alarm silence. There's an internal nebulizer, which is not commonly used. A lung button here, so the lungs are actually a manual breath, which will give 1 breath at the set tidal volume or pressure control level. O2 increase, so that will be a 100% increase for 2 minutes. A screen lock for when you're in transport, and then the ability to dim down the screen. To go over some of the alarms that are associated with the T1 ventilator, if we get a medium priority alarm, It was the amber alarm that showed first with 3 tones, and obviously high priority is 5 tones and the red light associated with it at the top of the ventilator. Common alarms you'll see, obviously your normal high pressure, low pressure alarms, high respiratory rate alarm, low respiratory rate. Things kind of unique to the T1, we have a proximal flow sensor. The flow sensor actually knows if there's a disconnect, what part of the circuit the disconnect is on. So if your alarm message up at the top of the screen here says disconnect patient side, that would be any disconnect that is on the patient side of this flow sensor. If it says disconnect ventilator side, it is on the ventilator side or on the back side of this flow sensor. So it actually can identify where the disconnection is coming from, so you can quickly identify that. Another alarm you may see is pressure limited. That is just based on patient's lung compliance. So if I'm asking the ventilator to obtain a 350 tidal volume, but my high pressure alarm is set too low, I will get a pressure limited alarm. All that's saying is based on the peak pressure that the ventilator is reading, it cannot achieve the tidal volume that I'm trying to obtain. The safety with this alarm is it is set 10 centimeters of water pressure below my high pressure alarm. So if my high pressure alarm is at 40 centimeters of water pressure, it will pressure limit at 30 centimeters of water pressure. Other alarms associated, so right now we have the low tidal volume. There is a patient disconnect alarm, which could occur if our patient were to take a larger tidal volume than what we have set significantly. So if we had 300 set and your patient were to wake up and take about a 600 breath tidal volume, it would alarm patient disconnect, and obviously you would look at the ventilator and say they're not disconnected. That's just because they've pulled all the flow and volume out of the circuit. So no need to correct it. It will correct itself as you've seen the other alarms correct. So.